Good evening and welcome to Anime-Zing Radio here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm your host, Doug Engler. Joining me in the co-host seat, as always, is our good friend, Mr. Darren Starling.
Who dat? He been dead for 2 weeks.
He made his return when we were playing trading card game shop simulator earlier this week, which that is a fun game. We do have a guest that's going to be joining us momentarily. They just got home from work, and we are excited to welcome her back to the show. It's been a while since we've had a chance to chat with her, but Kristi Rothrock will be joining us here probably in a few minutes, and we are really excited to chat with her again. Very, very talented voice actress. Know her as Momo from Chiho School Road. You have Ilulu in Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Natsumi in The Maid I Hired recently as Mysterious, as well as many other awesome roles. So we are really, really excited about having Kristi coming back on and joining us again. I think the last time that we talked with her was when we brought her to Rail City Fan Fest up in Vermont, outside of some messages here or there. So really excited about having her on. Our other guest, Manic Dan Flanders from Manic Mart, may not make it tonight. He told me he has his kids this weekend and doesn't know if he'd be able to make it. All depends on scheduling and what's going on there. So if he can make it, great. If not, we'll try to get him back on again soon, because he is an awesome guy to talk to. Always love chatting with him.
And is always fitting around the Halloween season.
Exactly. I know. Kristi also loves the Halloween time of year. We had her on as a Halloween guest before. I dressed as Kobayashi for that one.
Yes.
Not dressed up tonight, but I did dress up for that one. That was fun. Some news that came down the anime voice actor wire. Congratulations to J. Michael Tatum and Brandon McInnes on their wedding. Saw that on their social media. So happy for them. Amazing guys. And we are excited because our guest of honor is here.
Hey.
Hello, Kristi. How have you been?
Really good. How about you?
Good. Busy, going crazy as usual, but
Perfect, as it should be.
But we are really excited about having you on the show. It's the first time that we've had a chance to chat like this since Rail City last year.
I know. It's been a good long while. It's been ages.
Yeah. But I know...
And a little longer for me.
Yeah, it really has been. Yeah, we haven't chatted in a while, my dude. I'm glad to hear from you guys again. I hope you're both doing well.
We are doing well. Our other co-host, Angela, is in Japan, so she's missing you this week.
But, I mean, me versus Japan, definitely Japan's going to win.
She was very disappointed when I told her you were coming on this week.
She's doing way more interesting things than talking to me.
I don't know. How about I talk to you in Japan? That way we have the best of all worlds.
Bingo! There it is. It's a win. What time is it in Japan, by the way?
Right now it is, I think, 9 a.m. Monday morning.
Yep. I ain't waking up early. So, how are things?
Things are good. Hellos in the chat to Ross Luck and Nunya Business. Nunya says, you versus Japan, I'd watch that cage fight.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, we're fighting now?
I don't know. Nunya thinks so. But.
Oh, hang on a second.
Yeah.
Hold up.
And so while Kristi's taking care of some stuff on the home front, happy to see everybody in the chat. We want to remind everybody Anime-Zing Radio is brought to you tonight by Home Circle Media for the latest and greatest in anime gear, everything from pens, pencils, stationery, and officially licensed art books. Be sure to check out homecirclemedia.com today or look for them at an upcoming convention near you. We're also brought to you by Triple S Lawn Care. If you're in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area and you're looking for quality lawn care at a great price, reach out to Darren at Triple S Lawn Care. He'll hook you up. He's a very hard worker. I've seen it firsthand. Darren put me to work for a week.
Yep, and he did just fine.
But welcome back, Kristi.
Hello. Sorry, I heard a door open and didn't realize that my husband had gotten back home. So I thought that the house was either haunted or being robbed, and yeah, both are scary. So
Yeah.
Well, like I said earlier, fitting with the time of year.
Yes. Speaking of, I just collected the goods to my Halloween costume, so I will be working on that within the next few days.
Awesome.
Yes, I am going. I wanted to wear something that I'm like, okay, I don't want to have to like spend 3 hours getting ready because that's my norm. So I decided, you know what, I'm not going to go all out this year. I'm just going to do something that's comfy, something that I enjoy. And I started thinking, like, okay, what can I be? And I was torn between two. And I decided with my hair, I wanted to be Joy from Inside Out.
Oh,
And
sweet.
so
I could see that.
yeah, I have a dress and I have like a little glowing yellow orb to go along with it and everything. So it was
I can't wait
between
to see pictures.
yeah. If I don't post any online, I'll at the very least send you one or two. I'm sure that you can assume I am very rarely online these days.
I have seen, and I know that life has been crazy for you since you moved and married, and a lot of stuff has changed since the last time you were on the show with us. And congratulations. I hope everything's going well now in your new location and work and everything.
Honestly, everything's been going really, really well. That's part of the reason you haven't seen me online is that I'm just doing other stuff. And while I was moving, I got off the internet for a pretty good long while just because I didn't have time for it, didn't have time for social media. By the time I actually did have time for social media, by that point, I was so out of the habit of it that I've struggled getting back in the habit of it. And I kind of enjoy not being in the habit of it. So I'm not too pressed about getting back in either.
That's understandable. I mean, there's social media has become a place that is wonderful and toxic at the same time. It's great to stay connected with friends, but a lot of times you have to sort through so much negativity and BS that it gets exhausting.
And that's why basically everyone that I talk to these days, I have their phone number. I text them. I text you. Like I am social media, it just makes me sweaty anymore.
Which I had to laugh because the last time that you had messaged me out of the blue, I was actually at a convention for the first time since March.
What are the odds?
I was at Colossal Con East up in the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania because that convention is now about 90 minutes from where I live.
Oh, dang.
So I'm no longer up in New York. We're down in Pennsylvania. I know when you came out to Rail City with us, we were moving like the next week.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
And then I went from the convention. The following weekend was drive down here and find an apartment because we still didn't have a place to live.
Oh, that last minute hustle. Don't you just love it?
Then it went from we found a place, drive back to New York, finish packing the apartment, load the U-Haul Wednesday, drive 6.5, actually it was about 7.5 hours in the U-Haul down to Pennsylvania. Friday, unload the U-Haul into storage because our apartment wouldn't be ready till the 15th, and we got down there like the 8th, so we had to wait a week and a half. Friday, and fortunately, my wife and daughter could stay with my family out here until the apartment was ready. because Saturday I got up and drove to Georgia for my new job where I'm working for a railroad.
Well, you didn't necessarily drive to Georgia.
I didn't. It wasn't a straight shot. I drove to Darren's house and got to meet Darren in person for the first time on the way down there.
Hey, sweet. How'd that go?
Good. He was gracious enough to allow me to spend the night to break up what would have been about a 14-hour drive.
Hell yeah.
Yep. It was the return trip that was the interesting part.
Yeah. Coming after I graduated out of the training school and everything, coming back up, I stayed with Darren again, and we went to a convention in Raleigh.
Heck yeah. Sounds like a happening time.
Definitely. And hello
Yep.
to Sharka and John Knight in the chat. And Ross has a question for you, Kristi, asking, how did you react when hearing about Dragon Maid getting a movie?
I reacted like in a really happy and hopeful way, because obviously if the Dragon Maid movie comes out and Lulu's in it and it gets a dub, I would hope that I haven't, screwed up in life enough to the point that Crunchy hates me or something. So I'm assuming I will be coming back for that role, and if that's the case, I will be so happy, happier than a clam at high tide, because I 10,000% would love to return to a Lulu someday. So either way, even if it doesn't get a dub, I want to see the movie because the show's really cute and I have fallen absolutely head over heels in love with it, and it's a comfort show for my husband and I. So we're absolutely going to see the movie regardless.
And you know what movies like that generally entail to follow, correct?
Not sure what's
A lot of times when series like that get movies, there's another season behind it.
I mean, I'll take that too. Please bring on some more Dragon Maid.
We need more Best Girl of Lulu.
Yes.
I'm honestly anticipating a third season behind it.
And Sharka in the chat says that she remembers meeting Kristi at Anime Hawaii. She was a girl that mentioned Anime-Zing radio.
Hello. I appreciate. Oh my gosh, I loved getting to meet everyone at Anime Hawaii. And Sharka, were you cosplaying? Because I do remember some of the cosplayers from that. Either way, you gotta hit me up in chat, because I'm pretty sure I'll remember you, because I know I remember people mentioning Anime-Zing. So that's super cool.
And it's exciting to hear that people remember you coming on the show and things of that nature, because we love having you on and all the voice actors on, because it gives the fans a chance to get to know you as a person, not just the characters that you do.
Yeah, and I don't know though. I don't feel like me as a person is the most interesting thing. So
I had a blast hanging out with you at Rail City. You were so much fun to be around, and you're just genuinely, you're someone I would just hang out with because I enjoy chatting with you and you're a cool person.
Thank you, dude. I had a great time with you too. And real talk, I still call waffles polite pancakes because of you.
I think that was because of my wife.
Yes, absolutely. The both of you call waffles polite pancakes because they hold your syrup for you. It made me so happy.
I am sorry I missed out on that.
Sharka says, yes, she wore a very pretty purple outfit.
Yes, I do remember you. Oh my gosh. Yay. That makes me so happy.
And cats are going crazy in the background.
Like cats do. I see in the chat my gateway anime. Kitty's going wild. Oh,
that's our friend Kristi here. Why don't you step over here? This is my daughter, Evie.
Hey, hi Evie. I've heard so much about you.
Hi, Kristi.
Hey.
She says hello. Evie turned 7 in a little over a week.
Ooh, happy birthday.
Because my birthday is on November 6th.
Nice. My birthday I know she can't hear me, but there we go. Hey, awesome. So my birthday is November 28th, so you and me have the same birthday month.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. And my sister is born this month too. So you're a Scorpio, aren't you?
I think so.
Well, it's nice to meet you. We can share our birthday month. Let's celebrate all month, right? Yeah.
Or you come down to grab a drink.
Yeah.
All right, you go get a drink real quick. Just about bedtime for her.
So sweet. Thank you for letting me chat with her a little bit.
Oh, I think that's the first time she's made an appearance on the show.
What? I am honored that I got to chat with her a little bit.
Because I'm trying to think. I don't think she's been on the on
She
camera
hasn't.
before.
She hasn't.
So a lot of Kristi has shared in a lot of firsts.
Yes, I was the first voice actor that you've hosted. I'm sorry, by the way, if I'm like hitting myself from time to time. I just got a new tattoo and it's in the itchy phase, so I'm like trying to not scratch it. So I'm doing the pat of it to keep it from itching so bad.
And I also have my unicorn pajamas on.
Yeah. Good night, baby girl.
Night. I'm so excited for my birthday.
I know you're excited for Halloween, but time to go to bed. So since the last time we've chatted, I have been a little out of the loop because work is crazy. What have you been up to since the last time that we had you on?
So I have been recording a couple of things. That's the problem with I'm not on social media anymore, so I never post about roles or anything like that. I've actually been in a couple of games. I voiced a character in the game Memento Mori, and I also voice another game that I can't remember the name of. And it makes me so bummed out because I love that I get to voice these roles, but I'm so bad about announcing anything about myself that I don't know. I feel like nobody like because I actually had somebody on Twitter earlier today or the other week say that like, oh, I'm excited to hear more of your voice roles, and I'm like, yeah, that just dawned on me. I haven't posted about any of my new stuff, so I need to do that.
I see video game for Dragon Ball, Sparking Zero.
Ooh, yeah, Sparking Zero just came out. So my husband and I have been recording an audiobook. That's another thing that we have been working on. But yeah, we've been doing an audiobook recently, and when we got finished with that, one of our things was we were going to sit down and play Sparking Zero because we have it on the PlayStation. So I'm pretty jazzed about it. I'm like, I'm going to main me. Even if she's not my fighting style, I'm going to main me.
Now what? Excuse me. How different is it voicing for a video game as opposed to doing anime?
So you have a lot more and a lot less freedom at the same time. It's just in different ways. So when you're voicing the anime, you're bound by the flaps. You're bound by the mouth movements. And you can kind of act with whatever lilt you have, but you have to fit the mouth movements. With video games, you don't have to fit any unless it's already like a dubbed video game. You don't necessarily have to fit the mouth movements so much as you have to fit a time frame. So rather than fitting flaps, you just fit like, hey, you have 3 seconds to say this. And so you're just limited in different ways. And with video games, you don't, at least with the Dragon Ball games, because there's a lot of like one-line call-outs, like too close or not enough, stuff like that. So with those, you obviously have a lot less time to act because how much emotion are you really going to put into 2 words? And but at the same time, you also get to give them multiple takes of each one. So there's give and take in both realms. It's just, you know, different in their own little subtle ways, even though they're more or less very similar and it's the same character. It's just a different style.
And has it been a bit of an adjustment for you going to like a different studio from, you were living East Coast and you moved West Coast, and so you have like different areas to record and stuff like that? Has that been a bit to adjust to, or was that pretty easy?
Honestly, it's been pretty easy because luckily most of the studios out here have been, set up for satellite recording. And like, for instance, whenever I have to go record for like or Crunchyroll rolls, reprisals, then excuse me, then I go to another like satellite studio, and luckily a lot of those satellite studios are set up for like actors to be in and out of. So and all of the engineers and everyone at them have all been so kind. They're super nice, and whenever Lil me comes in lost as hell and sweaty because I couldn't find parking, they have all been so kind to me. So it's been a great experience because they're all set up for kind of, people who are ding dongs like me.
And, I don't know if you've had a chance to work at Bang Zoom Studios, but we have had Mami Okada and I think it was Doug Sherman is the CEO of Bang Zoom on the show a couple of times.
Oh, hey.
So, hello to them if they tune in. A lot of love to them for coming on and hanging out with us. John Knight in the chat says, Kristi, this year marks the 5th anniversary of the Dr. Stone dub, and they announced season 4 is the final season.
Which is so cool. And I love that they're going, that they had the 5th anniversary, but I didn't actually know. Again, I am so critically offline. It's unreal. So I didn't know that the season 4 was going to be the final season. But yeah, it's so neat that it's gone on this long, for the 5th anniversary. I remember like acting for the very first time in that show, and I did not realize how big it was going to become.
I think a lot of voice actors go through that they start doing a project and then never realize how big it's going to be.
Very much so.
Kobayashi blew up pretty big. I mean, like we mentioned, it's getting a movie now. I know it's going to be Kana focused for the movie, but hoping that there's more than just Kana in there. Like I said, Kana was best girl in season 1. My opinion, Alulu stole the show season 2.
Well, thank you. Although my husband and I both just like die over Kana. Like, she's just the most precious little thing ever. Just a little tater tot of a child. And like, we always like laugh the most at her lines because she's so sweet. So the movie is going to be wonderful. It's just going to be me like the whole movie, just like in awe of how cute Kana can be.
I think everybody's going to be like that.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Especially because, it's going to show some of her backstory and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is going to make me cry, isn't it? Yes.
Possibly.
It's me. I cry at the drop of a hat. So, yeah, the answer is yes, I will likely cry.
And I know a lot of the people, I still get people who say thank you for having you come out to Rail City. Everybody appreciated you taking the time to come up to Vermont and hang out for the weekend.
Oh my gosh, it was a privilege. It was an absolute privilege to do it. I actually saw in my Google Calendar that I was going to cons around this time last year, and I noticed that, one of them was whenever I went there. And it's been like almost a year or maybe 2 years. Was it? Oh God, I don't remember. It was a year. And so, yeah, it's so cool that we, got to chat on, almost a year on the dot coming up to.
Yeah, because Rail City last year was at the end of June.
Okay, never mind then. So it's already been. I'm so sorry, my dude. It's
all good.
Life is a crazy, crazy time. So it's been over a year.
With my work schedule of the railroad, I never know when I'm going out. Like this week, I was on the extra list. There are times when I keep checking the extra list because I'm up next, and my phone could go off at any time. Once it hits midnight, I change, go off the extra list, and then I have a train that goes from Allentown to Harrisburg.
Oh my goodness.
And I'll be on that Wednesday and Saturday, going out and come back the next day.
So what do you like, what kind of freight do you carry? Like what does your train line haul?
Everything but passengers.
Yeah.
It's a major, they call it a class 1 railroad. It's Norfolk Southern. So big black engines with white stripes and a horse on the nose.
Nice.
Is the company I work for. I'm enjoying the job. It's been fun.
Good.
I've learned a lot.
Well, I know it was.
I've always had the interest in trains, but I never knew what was fully involved in it until getting to work for the railroad, and such a new respect for everything.
Yeah. By the way, sorry if you hear like a small yelling noise. My cat wants to go outside and she makes her opinions known about it constantly. Hang on a second. Hang on.
No problem. And we all, having cats, we know how that is.
Yeah, we usually let her outside, and because we have a little fence that she stays inside, and it's got like a little top over it so birds won't be able to get her or anything like that. But then we realized that there's a little spot in the fence where she can hop over to our neighbor's porch. And we decided that, yeah, it's not outdoor time for her anymore until we can figure out how to not have that happen. So now she's pitching an absolute fit about not being able to go outside.
As I do. We have to worry about Haru trying to make a break for it when we go near the door. Ines is too anxious. He's scared of everything.
Meanwhile, mine was a pure outdoor cat. And trying to get her in the house, to stay in the house, sometimes was a challenge. Because she'd come in the front door, then end up walking down the door, through the basement, and right back out the door, just to end right back up on the porch and do the same thing again.
That is very much like kitty cats. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Not a problem. So happy that Kristi's joining us again, and she had to step away. Things are always crazy. Especially this time of year, everybody's getting ready for the holidays, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, just back to back to back. Plus, Kristi had just gotten home from work, and we really thank her for the time of coming on and hanging out with us, especially where she has a busy schedule. So it's my train of thought just off the rails again.
Busy schedules, sir. Busy schedules.
Yeah, it's been kind of a crazy week for me with different trains, and going to Jersey earlier this week, Harrisburg in the middle of the week. And Ross says, just remember, no matter how things get, always keep doing your best, which is all we can do. Just keep doing our best and keep trying to have fun with everything. And I know, well, Kristi's away. Darren, you said that you caught up on a couple of shows that you were watching this season.
Yep.
I don't want any spoilers for Miss Servant because I am one episode behind. But what has your opinion of that one been?
I like it. I really do. I mean, I'm a sucker for any kind of romance or any romance insinuation. So there's that. Have you met the sister already?
Yes.
Okay.
She came in last week's episode.
Okay. So you already know how she is.
Yeah.
Typical little sister or a little over the top?
A little over the top, but fits right in with most anime little sister tropes.
Yep. You gotta love her. So anyway, this most recent episode.
I'm back.
Oh, welcome back.
Howdy, howdy. What'd I miss?
Oh, we were just talking a little bit about some of the shows that we were watching. Darren and I have a couple of shows that we're both watching. And actually, when I was down there, we started the first episode of I think 3 different shows, including You Are Miss Servant, Demon Lord Retry, and I forget the third one. I think it was The Healer who was banished.
The healer who was banished from his party is actually the strongest. The healer who was banished from the hero's party is actually the strongest, or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
One of the notorious anime titles that is 2 miles long.
That has been a thing as of late. Actually, not even as of late.
Especially with, and not so much the isekais lately, but just the adventure and fantasy genres.
Pretty much. And have you been able to keep up with any of the anime or gaming world? I know you said you haven't had a busy schedule. Have you been able to enjoy any shows or anything like that?
So I have had a busy schedule, but because I've not been on the internet, I actually have had some time to enjoy certain things. So, game-wise, I've been wanting to jump back into Psychonauts 2, and I started it, but I just never finished it. And I also have just been playing a whole bunch of Overwatch with my husband, which is just kind of a game we always fall back into. I know everyone loves to clown on Overwatch, but I used to play TF2 back in the day, so this scratches that Team Fortress 2 itch like nothing has before, and so I'm a happy girl. And then let's see, I've also been playing like some of the old Yoshi games in the Nintendo in the like Nintendo 64 Switch thing or whatever. So I've just been playing a lot of like old comfort games. And then show wise, my husband and I just watched the most recent season of The Legend of Vox Machina. And we had a lot of fun watching that because that's something that we kind of like bonded over the very first, like when we first met each other.
Oh, that's awesome. I'd say game-wise, the game I've been addicted to lately is TCG Card Shop Simulator.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen that. I know
I have, yeah.
Streaming it. That game is so addicting.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those like fun, laid back. It's a lot of repetitive stuff, but you just enjoy watching like your business grow and the different cards. And for anybody who's a card collector, it kind of scratches the itch of wanting to, like, we all would love to go and buy a unopened case of Pokemon cards just so we can open each pack, hoping for the that valuable card, but none of us really have the money to do that. So this game kind of scratches that itch a bit.
See, I love that. I love that because games that keep me from spending an actual huge quantity of money and or taking up valuable space in my house, games that keep me from doing that but still scratch that itch in my little rat brain, then I'm perfectly happy about that.
And that's one thing that I've been having a lot of fun with. In fact, I sent Darren a picture. I'd opened a card, and I think it was worth like $2,400.
Hell yeah! And you're like, I'm rich in this game.
I'm like, that's the most expensive card that I've pulled out of a pack.
$2,400.
Yeah, $2,400. And John Knight asked in the chat, Kristi, did you enjoy voicing Bello Betty in the One Piece dub?
Yes, even though she was actually a pretty difficult character to get into, just because she's so tall and confident and just has that like kind of commanding personality while still, being a human and not just being like a hard ass all the time. It was kind of hard finding that like commanding personality and that confidence while still remaining like gentle enough to like balance it out. But once I found that kind of like aloof, cool attitude that she kind of has, it was a lot easier. And I've actually voiced her, since then. And it was always really nice because I feel like every time I voice her, I just kind of get to explore a new part of her.
And is it fun, like growing with these characters as you're going on? Like you find out which character you're gonna get, and then you just kind of grow into them and feel like they grow into you as well, or?
Absolutely. The best example of that I can think of is Ichinose from Classroom of the Elite. Whenever I first started voicing her, it's kind of sweet because, like, she keeps coming back. Whenever I first started voicing her, I think it was my very first year voice acting. And oh my goodness, I don't remember what year it was that I started, but it was whenever Crunchyroll was still Funimation. And it was but yeah, I started voicing her in that year, and then a long time happened, and then eventually it came back around, and I love that I still get to voice her to this day. It makes me so happy, and I've loved like hearing her story, seeing her story, and also, I mean, I hear my old work as her, my first year of acting, and I can hear how green I was, and so getting to, have my acting also grow alongside her has been really nice to hear.
That's got to be another interesting thing is, going back and hearing work from when you first went out and just seeing how far that you've progressed in your voice acting talent.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are times when I'm too afraid to go back and listen to like early podcasts, like early days of Anime-Zing radio, because I'm like, I know I probably sounded like ass.
The thing is, though, is, you know what? There are going to definitely be moments where, yes, you did, I did, we all sounded like ass at some point. But that's part of getting better, and that's part of growing, is you fail a bunch of times until you stop failing and you start succeeding, and then you succeed even more and more. And I kind of had to learn that, whenever I was going back and watching all of my old stuff, because if I didn't see anything wrong with my old stuff, then that would be an even bigger problem.
I think that's a good learning experience too for our listeners and anybody out there who, wants to get into either acting, voice acting, really just about anything in life with any skills, any talents. Accept that you're gonna fail before you can master anything.
Exactly.
You can't jump into a video game and be the best your first attempt. You need to learn the mechanics. You need to learn, with voice acting, you need to learn timing and, what directors are looking for and how to work with how to picture yourself as a character. I'm sure. Like, I don't think I could jump into a booth, have a picture of a character in front of me and come up with a voice off the bat. I don't have that skill set. I would love to try, but I don't think I could do it.
Right. Well, I mean, very few people are born with the natural ability to be able to do that. It's all about practice. And going back to what you were saying, it's, you, excuse me, we fail over and over again. And I feel like becoming familiar and acquainted with the feeling that comes with failure and accepting it as part of the process rather than a stumbling block, I feel like that kind of lets you sit with that failure a little bit more. And the fact is failure is always the result of trying. And the fact that you tried in and of itself is already admirable.
Oh, definitely.
And I've just sort of, it's the same with like auditions. I don't even see auditions I don't book as quote unquote failures. they're just part of the job. And once you just start to take the, perceived negative aspects out of things, and you take those things and you like say, hey, this is a sign of the journey happening rather than, oh, I suck, then it makes you a lot less afraid to fail, and therefore you're willing to try a lot more interesting and a lot more like unique things.
And I think that's one thing that's common in like the anime fandom, more of the fans and the otaku, who are a lot of people, want to do things, but a lot of people either social anxiety, something has happened to where they are afraid to get out of their comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's very reassuring to hear, people who we look up to, like yourself, saying, it's okay to fail. It means that you tried, and trying is, you're never a loser if you try, so to speak.
Mm-mm.
You always have a victory in some way, shape, or form. I'm sure, like going for auditions, if you don't get the role you really want, you didn't fail the audition. You were just meant for something else. And you
Yeah, it
learn
just
from
wasn't your
that.
role. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, you nailed it right there. It's like, if you didn't book the audition, that's not a failure. That wasn't your job to book. And I feel like whenever you first start out, especially if you're looking to become an actor, especially a voice actor, especially whenever it's as competitive as it is right now. One moment. Excuse me. Whenever it's as competitive as it is right now, honestly, like just trying and doing your best and trying to do your best over and over and over again is all you need to worry about, because anyone who does sit there and judge you, because I know that that's one of the things that we're the most afraid of, is whenever we start acting or doing anything new, is what others will think about us, other people judging us, other people who are better than us thinking that we're stupid. But I can tell you that for 99% of the people that you encounter in your life don't feel that way. They don't think you're dumb for trying. They don't think that you're, you know, wrong or anything like that. And the people who do care, who do have an opinion about it, they don't matter, because where's their opinion coming from? Probably nowhere.
And a lot of times the
Their
people who
butt.
are opinionated are the people who are too afraid to try themselves. So they just project out because their fears to try to make those who are trying feel bad about trying.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, regardless of what happens, just have fun. Have all the fun you freaking can. Life is worth it. And as long as you're trying, and as long as you're enjoying it, and as long as you're like keeping that passion alive, A, you're going to love it. B, all the work that you put into it is not even going to feel like work. And C, that's what's going to lead you to becoming better at what you do, no matter what you're doing, whether it be acting, skating, writing, whatever it may be.
And comments in the chat. Ross says, Kristi, there's an English dub actor video game coming out in February where you get to date objects called Date Everything.
I need to know more about this like now, because I I want to play that. I'm going to look that up whenever.
I think you can like date like a tissue box, or you could date a computer.
See, that's the kind of like bonkers gameplay I'm here for. So I will 100% be looking into that game and seeing what it's all about, because I want to date everything.
If it comes out
Hey.
on Steam, I might have to get it and live stream it.
Oh my gosh, yes, I will tune into that live stream.
And John Knight asks, Kristi, are you in Texas or LA?
LA, baby.
She has moved to West Coast, and we appreciate her joining us. I know it's a bit of a time difference out there. It's early afternoon, so you still have all evening to hang out.
Yeah, it's actually not later for me. It's later for you. It's 5:45 here. So I actually just got off work not too long ago, and I'm about to get some food and head out with my husband for a little bit. I actually was in Texas recently, though. I saw my parents, and I got my tattoo finished. Where is it? I got a little cockroach.
Oh, sweet.
Isn't he cute? He's like a little Beetlejuice looking guy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ross says it's going to be a Nintendo Switch game.
Oh, sick. I have a Switch. So that means not only can I sit there and play it on the TV, I can also bring it to bed and annoy my husband with it. So I'm pretty excited about that.
And if you travel, you can bring it on planes. And
Oh, 100%. I was playing Yoshi on the plane over here. It was, or over whenever I was flying. It was great.
And I had a comment, and then it just, you know what that's like, where it's like, okay, we'll have a good conversation, then,
And then your brain just dumps everything.
pretty much. Oh, that's right. You know, a lot of our fans know that, you know, I take a lot of chances. We've been doing the show for 10 years, and it was such an honor to have Kristi help fulfill a dream of mine of bringing a voice actor to a convention. And I've said it a million times, but I couldn't have been happier about the choice of having you come out and hang with us. And that really meant a lot to me, helping to fulfill a dream and things of that nature. I know you said you had a good time. It was your first time to New England and Vermont, especially.
It was awesome. And I'm still so appreciative of that because that was a first for me too, you know, just being out there and, you know, meeting you in person was so much fun. And it was a great time. I still remember that so fondly. And I was so happy that I got to, you know, join you for that. And I'm still so grateful that you did bring me on because, you know, I that was a like once in a lifetime thing. And I'm so glad.
And you got to, you know, have a childhood fantasy of sitting in Audrey and
Yes, and I still have that picture and I still show people.
and I had to laugh because remember how we had taken a big group photo? Well, when I set that photo as my phone screen, that's all that you can see.
I love it.
So me, you, and my wife.
It's perfect.
I'm like, it cut out Angela. It cut out, you know, it cut out 4 people.
Oh, retro.
I'm like, it's okay though. The important people are there.
No, there's more important people.
No, it was a lot of fun, and like I said, you know, everybody I've talked to since then. Sadly, we weren't able to go to Rail City this year, but everybody was so thankful that you were able to come out and enjoyed having you there. I know Luke said he would love to have you back at any time that he could make it possible.
Oh yeah, and I would happily come back. It was a great experience through and through. I had so much fun, and you know, I still have the stuff that they gave me and everything. It was a great convention.
It was, and that's why I chose that con, because you know the staff was great. The owner, I like how his mind works, and he knew he was still a small con, really couldn't afford to bring in guests and stuff, which is why I wanted to bring you to that convention. I really enjoyed, and I would do it all again.
I would too. It was a great time, and I'm so thankful for it. Sorry, I'm.
You are wiped from a long day and long.
I got up at 5 a.m. today, so I'm like, I'm hitting that 12-hour mark where I'm just like, whew, getting a little worn out. But I may have to jump off here in just a little bit because I am wearing out quickly. But I'm so glad that I was able to jump on for even just a little bit. I know you invite me on pretty often, and I know a lot of the time I'm either working or I'm doing something else. And I'm so glad that I had time tonight to like jump on because I worked a morning shift today. And so I am thankful that you would even have me on the show again. So I'm really glad that also you do not take my silence as like that you don't take it as like a bad thing or anything. I promise you, it has nothing personal.
Oh, I know. And you know, when I started the show 10 years ago, you know, we're lucky to have a lot of voice actors come on, but I've always said I respect your time. You guys have careers, you have lives, you have families, you have things that go on, and the fact that you offer to volunteer your time, whether it be for 15 minutes, half hour, 2 hours, to come and hang out with us and our fans, we really appreciate it. And I never want to feel like I never, want you to feel like I'm being pushy or things of that nature.
No.
And
Never,
so,
never with you.
so it's like, I'll send a message out. We chat a little bit, don't hear from each other. We have that friendship where we can go months without sending a comment, and all of a sudden, hey, how you doing? Haven't chatted in a bit. Was thinking about you. And
and I love that. I love hearing from you every now and then. And I'm gonna try to text you a lot more, dude. I'm sorry, I've been terrible at that, and I'm like, no, I need to be better.
I say the same thing. I'm like, I need to reach out and say hi to people more than I do, but my work schedule, I could get called anytime, 24/7, 365.
Yep.
So when I don't know, come midnight, I go on to a train that goes to Harrisburg. That went out today, probably somewhere between 2 and 4 p.m. It usually works till 2 to 4. It usually is a full 12-hour day.
Oh my goodness.
And then we go to a hotel, and within 10 hours, we're back out on a return train back.
Whew. Sounds busy.
When you're going like multiple days, and I think I had a stretch of 9 days in a row where at some point in that day I was on a train. There were times when I forget what day it is, things of that nature. Plus, we can't have our phones on while we're on the train for obvious reasons. And so it's totally understandable. Like, I never take the silence as she hates me. No, I know you have a life, and anytime I'm like, oh my God, Kristi message.
Well, thank you, and I really appreciate you understanding. And I'm so glad to hear, though, the job's still going well, and that fam's still doing good.
Oh yeah. Family's still doing good. Like I said, we're going to be celebrating Evie's birthday next weekend. So
nice.
I'm excited about that. I can't believe she's 7. They grow too fast.
My niece, oh my gosh, excuse me. When I left for LA, she was shorter than me, and when I came back a year and a half later, she was taller than me. I wasn't ready for that. I called her on her birthday, and I thought my sister picked up the phone. And so, yeah, I totally am with you on the they grow too fast whole thing.
But I know that you got to get going here shortly. But before you do, we want to give you a chance to promote yourself. Any thing that's coming up that you're working on that you can talk about, any conventions or appearances, the floor is yours.
So right now, nothing that I can talk about. I have a couple of things that have been working, but I will let you know when I can talk about those things. But in the meantime, play Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And also, if you do check out Memento Mori, Gillial is the girl that I voice, so check her out. She's got an enormous witch hat, and she's very cute.
And we really appreciate you taking the time coming on and hanging out with us. We love chatting with you. You're always welcome. I know you said that social media is not really your thing. If you ever want to come on, even to do quick announcements on a Sunday show, don't hesitate to reach out, and you can reach out to the fans through us. We'd be honored to be that platform for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And again, thank you for having me on tonight. I really appreciate it.
Of course. And thanks to your husband for allowing you to hang with us for a bit.
He's working too, so it's all good. All right. Thanks, Doug. Bye. Bye, Darren.
I think Darren's asleep.
Oh, good night, Darren. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Thanks to Kristi for joining us tonight. It was a lot of fun catching up with her, and very thankful that she was able to come on even for a little bit to just hang out and chat and catch up, because like we said, we haven't talked in a while. Are you still there, Darren? I think Darren might have dozed off. I think Darren died, which happens. But like I said, big thank you to Kristi for joining us tonight. It was a lot of fun. Always enjoy chatting with her. And Oh, a lot of things going on in the anime world. Of course, I saw a comment mentioned earlier. Um, I have to scroll up and see if I can see where it's at. Da, 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 da. And comment from Ross that said, "Did you hear what happened with David Wald?" I did hear about that, and my God, that's wrong on so many levels. I don't want to shed too much light on it, and I know a lot of people on social media have been talking about it, and if it's true that stuff happened, then he should pursue legal action because he could get people arrested. Because if that was true, that is highly illegal. And if he can prove that happened, then yeah, he has a case for legal action. And John Knight asks, "How are you doing, Doug?" I'm doing good. It's been, like I said, it's been a crazy week, but been trying to keep up with stuff. After hearing Ross talk about the Amagi sisters, I did start watching that show last week. I am caught up on it. I've been enjoying it. I'm curious, Ross, as to who you think he's gonna choose. Which sister do you think the male character is gonna choose? The oldest, the middle, or the youngest? I think you mentioned the middle before. I have a feeling he would go after all three. Ross says Yuna, the middle sister. I can see that because I think they're the closest in age. Um, but I'm impressed at how well the storyline has been progressing. Looking at it from the standpoint of the story and how the flow has been, because some shows like that you feel like it jumps around too much or too much is going on. But I kind of like how the flow of this show has been going. It's nice, smooth, been easy to follow, and the characters are kind of likable. I say kind of because it can be a bit of a pain in the butt. I'm not the biggest tsundere fan. There are some exceptions of tsunderes that I like, but Yuna's adorable. I am behind on a herbivorous dragon of 5,000 years gets unfairly villainized. I only watched a couple episodes of that. It's been okay. I don't know if that's something that I'm going to finish or not. I will say I have been enjoying Love Live Superstar. The most recent episode that dropped on Monday was Ross says, going back to Amagi sisters, the older sister feels like she's faking her personality. In a way, it's almost like she's trying too hard. And I'm curious to see, because a lot of these shows I watch, when they get English dubbed, I watch them again. So I'll watch them in Japanese and then I'll watch them again in English. And I'm curious to see how they're going to portray her personality on the English side of things. So that could be an interesting thing. But going back to Love Live, the most recent Love Live Sunshine episode that dropped last week, I think might have my favorite song of all the Love Lives that I've seen. I don't know the title of it, but the song was really good. In fact, I kind of want to go. Oh, Amagai is okay. Like I said, I've been watching in Japanese. I didn't know that that it had the English dubs out because I've just been watching everything subbed. So that's good to know. I will have to go back and rewatch that. might see if the wife wants to watch that one. And like I said, I am behind on You Are Miss Servant. That one has been interesting, as Darren was alluding to earlier. Little Sister has made an appearance in last week's episode. I'm not sure what happens in this week's. I like the maid. I like her personality. I like I think she's a really cool character. I like the childlike innocence, and in a way, I compare her to Yor of being the assassin. But I kind of like the maid better than I like Yor, and I hate to say, if I'm comparing them, I kind of like the maid better. There's something about her that I find more appealing than for Yor. And Ross asks, "Have you seen Yakuza Fiance yet?" I have not. Oh, he meant Goodbye Dragon Life. I have been watching Goodbye Dragon Life. Um, and yes, the Lamia is adorable, better than Mia and the Lamia from Monster Girl Doctor. I will agree with you there. I kind of like the white-haired girl though. I like her. I almost like her better than the Lamia. It's been entertaining though. And I apologize about the weather up here has jumped from 70s to 50s to 80s to low 60s. So I'm getting the allergies back, where a lot of phlegm buildup and stuff. I think it's affecting a lot of people. Kristi, you could see, had a tickle in her throat at times, had to mute while coughing and stuff. So again, really excited that she was able to join us, and wish her the best, especially where it sounds like things are busy but good for her. And I'm so excited. I'm really happy that things are going good. My opinion on Goodbye Dragon Life so far. I'm not 100% sure what to make of this show. It's a show that I've kind of just been watching. Like I said, because I know you like isekai trash. It's a good mindless show to watch. I don't see myself getting as heavily invested in it as I have other shows of similar story types. But I probably will finish watching it. I'm hoping that the story gets better and that the characters get more enjoyable and stuff. I just uh, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd put it as like maybe a 6, 5, 6, 5, 5.5, or a 6. It's middle of the road. It's not horrible, but it's not, oh my god, I love this type of show. Like I said, there could be times. It's still early on, and it could get better. I'm not going to write it off just yet, but let's see, what other shows have I been watching? Demon Lord Retry R. So season 2 of Demon Lord Retry. Still not used to the change in art. The characters are still interesting. I kind of like how the story arc is going. I like how one of the holy maidens is trying to rescue a childhood friend of hers. So I like some of the stuff that's going on in there. Seems like right now in the storyline, there's a lot going on, and it's kind of jumping all over the place. Which, when that happens on these, weekly, weekly shows, it can be hard to follow. So it's probably a show I'm going to go back and rewatch once it's in its, you know, once it's completed, and then I can go and rewatch the whole season and make it easier to follow the storyline, because it's tough. It's tough when you're watching 5, 6, 7 shows to always remember everything that happens in every show. And I'm sure a lot of people can agree with that, especially when you're watching one episode every week. So, that being said, hoping that it gets better, and I'm sure everything will tie together and the storyline will make more sense as the episodes continue. Um, I, it has the makings, even though it's still early. I could see it lining itself up for a third season. Whether or not it's worth a third season, that's for the future to decide. But I could see it leaning that way. The healer who was banished from his party is, in fact, the strongest, has been really good. I've been enjoying that one. We've seen a lot of shows along that, line of anime. A lot of banished from this party, or banished from the hero's party, and it kind of just feels like the cookie cutter effect, where isekai has a lot of cookie cutters, but then you get into 3 or 4 different drugstore animes. Now you had the villainous series of a bunch of, the villainous is this, or whatever. And Ross in the chat says tomorrow starts the Arafueta season 3 dub. I have never seen Arafueta. I think that's on Crunchyroll. But I have never seen Arafueta, so I can't say if it's a good show or not. Arafueta from Commonplace to World's Strongest. Yeah, I have not watched that one. I think that's about it for the shows that I am currently watching, because it was Love Live Superstar Season 3, Tying the Knot with an Amagi Sister. As I mentioned before, Herbivorous Dragon of 5,000 Years. Probably not going to continue that one. That one's just very eh. I heard a few people talking about it. I was like, I'll give it a shot, and I think I watched 2 or 3 episodes, and I watched 2 episodes, and I'm like, So yeah, that's one that I'm probably not gonna continue, because it has not reeled me in. The Banished Healer has been good. I'll be continuing that. Demon Lord Retry, I'll watch, and I'll probably give it a rewatch once it's in its completion. You Are Miss Servant has been really good. And as a Reincarnated Aristocrat, is that still dropping new episodes? Oh, it is still dropping new episodes. I am caught up on that one too. I've been enjoying that show too. As a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world. John Knight in the chat says tomorrow is National Chocolate Day and International Animation Day. And Ross in the chat says since Darren is dead, we can talk about 2.5 dimensional seduction. Which I might be an episode behind on that. I've got to look. Yes, I am one episode behind on that. I have been enjoying it though. Ross, what's been your opinion on 2.5 dimensional seduction? Curious to see if you've been enjoying it as much as I have. So waiting on Darren for that, or waiting on Darren. Darren's dead. Waiting on Ross. Apologize for the silence here. Got some messages that just came in. Ross says, I came in thinking there was going to be romance mixed with cosplay, but no romance. I'm respecting the story of people finding who they are and coming to terms that they don't have to worry about what they love. They should just have fun. Oh, I heard a Darren. There's a wild Darren appearing.
I've been here this whole time.
You've just been quiet for a while.
Yep.
So I know we were started talking earlier about some of the shows that you were catching up on. And we're talking about You Are Miss Servant. What has your thoughts been on that series thus far?
Like I said, definitely one of the more interesting ones. Phrases we haven't really, not phrases, but it's different in the sense that I don't know. It's just different, more so than your typical romance or typical. I forget. I don't know how to phrase it, but it's just been a different style anime. And yes, it's somewhat cringeworthy or whatnot. So at times, but isn't all anime? Don't they all have their scenes here and there?
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, definitely one of the interesting shows this season. And it's cute. What can I say? They always find a way to make the female characters in these shows just adorable, and Gotta protect them. Gotta do whatever to keep them happy.
So I have to ask, your or the maid?
Honestly, I like her more than your.
I said the same thing. I like the maid more than your. The maid just has this adorable childlike innocence about her that you find comforting.
And it shines through a little bit more than your. Yes, your is more or less innocent as well, but it's just all in their reaction and somewhat their face. But I definitely think Miss Yuki has been a better main character.
I feel like with Miss Yuki, you are seeing a you're
More
almost
beauty
seeing
inside.
yeah you're seeing like a robot, like someone who was a robot suddenly developing emotions for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And Ross in the chat says, I want to go back and touch on what Doug said earlier about Demon Lord Retry. I also agree about jumping everywhere on the episodes, but I really don't like the Rabby Village people saying hop in every sentence. He finds that annoying.
But it's rabbit.
Hop and bunny. It's rabbits, and they're like it fits like what they're trying to go for. Also, because of Hop and Bunny, I was able to meet the voice actors and talk to the voice actors of both those characters, one that says Hop and the one that says Bunny. Which makes me wonder, when they start dubbing Demon Lord Retry, hopefully they dub Demon Lord Retry the second season, are they going to get them back? As we heard Kristi mention earlier, hoping, if a Lulu is in the movie or season 3 comes out and it gets dubbed, will she still be the voice of them, of a Lulu?
You never know.
And apparently they have been dubbing Retry R. Okay. Like I said, I'm watching. I'm like Darren this season. I'm watching everything in Japanese.
As we're impatient as can be, forgive us.
I did go back and rewatch Alia Hides Her Feelings in Russian, and I watched like 10 or 11 episodes in Japanese, but I never finished it in Japanese because I started watching it in English dub with my wife, and I think we binged all 12 episodes in like 4 or 5 days of watch time over a 2-week span. Really like that series.
I told you would.
I do like Alia. I think she's a cute character. But it makes you wonder, why do the Russian girls always have light colored hair? Most times they're portrayed as white, but Alia's sister has light blonde. So Alia's sister, who's also Russian, is not white hair like Alia is. She has light blonde hair, which is why I said light hair and not white.
Yep. Masha is. She's fun.
Masha's fun, but I kind of compare Masha to the eldest sister in Amagi. Ross.
I still haven't started that one. That's what I was in the middle of doing earlier.
Jared was ignoring us and watching anime. But we want, on a side note, we want to throw a shout out to Megan Shipman, and wish her the best of luck with her VTubing career. That she started doing some streaming as a VTuber recently. I was able to catch a little portion of one of her streams earlier this week while I was in the hotel, and she gave us such a wonderful shout out. If you have Twitch, go check her out. Check out her streams. Are a lot of fun. Trying to remember. I think it's just, yeah, that's it. Okay. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's Eisei Sukimaru is her YouTuber name, or is her VTuber name on Twitch. So go check her out. Give her a follow if you'd like. Subscribe. It helps them out. A lot of voice actors have been going to the VTuber world. It feels like Amelie does it. I think a few other voice actors have gone to that as well. When are you going to start VTubing, Darren?
Fat chance.
Have you VTube as Nico?
If I were to VTube, I would not do it as a girl. I would try to do it as a guy. Because there's too many VTubers where it doesn't match what you think they are. And
Yeah.
I'm not one to try and act like a trap.
Ross in the chat says, let me tell you what I think about the do-over damsel conquers the dragon emperor. It's interesting. Not liking the guy characters, a bit weird, but if you're a fan of Tanya the Evil, our female main character is a lot like Tanya and really strong.
She is violent, though. She is sporadic.
Is she basically is she a ticking time bomb?
Basically.
We love the questions and the comments in the chat. Keep them coming. We really appreciate everything that you guys do, coming in, hanging out with us here every week for 2 hours. Really, really means a lot to us to see so many great fans in the chat.
And also, one of the other ones I was watching, along with Doug, is the healer vanished from the hero's party is actually the strongest, which of course is another overachiever or party member who turns out to do way more than what their role actually is in their party, and their party's leaders be complete and total assholes and kick them out because they think they're not performing. And when they put a replacement, and they find out just how much they were actually doing.
And did you see the most recent episode?
That's episode 3, right? 3 or 4?
What was the one that
was it the one where the his replacement and him meet up?
It's episode 4, where they um, have a rematch with the lizard monster,
A Hydra.
the Hydra. Yeah.
Okay, I've seen one where they were talking about doing it, but I haven't seen if they were actually fighting it.
Okay, so you are 1 episode behind. Episode 4, I think, dropped today or yesterday.
That would explain a lot.
It dropped yesterday. So I'm not
Mhm.
going to spoil anything. I will say there's more to the healer than meets the eye.
Which healer, though?
The banished one, the main male. Actually, there's more to. Seems like there's more to a lot of the characters than meets the eye. I think that's
Yep.
one thing I find intriguing and that is a little bit different about this one. Is it seems like every character has a secret they're hiding.
Hmm.
And some of it may be hiding willfully, and some of it may be hiding because they don't even know that things are going on. That's it. That's as nice as I can put that without spoiling anything. So I would definitely say after the show tonight to check that one out.
It's on the list.
Also, you have to remember to set my alarm for the morning.
I know that. I fell asleep yesterday afternoon and woke up about midnight and realized my alarm wasn't set. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. And Ross says, no, she's just a 16 war girl back in time to a 10-year-old body trying to change the future. She is blessed by the war god, referring to the do-over damsel.
Okay.
But it's nice to know I have a bunch of new animes that I need to catch up on. And I'm trying to think what else have I seen in anime-based news recently.
Not to say you mentioned the Amagami sisters. I've been meaning to start that one, but I was trying to start it earlier, but I ran out of time. So how's that one been?
That's been pretty good.
Anything in particular that's made it unique?
Um,
Or is it just kind of like cookie cutter? Check
it's
this out.
basically it starts off, if I remember correctly, the story, college student who ends up going to a shrine because he wants to study for schooling, ends up being told he can only stay there if he agrees to marry one of the sisters. It has the usual tropes of, walking in on them changing, things of that nature. You've got the older sister who portrays as very ditzy, absent-minded, and kind of does her own thing. Even when she's supposed to be doing something else, she just goes off, kind of does what she wants. You have the middle sister who's very tsundere, and then you have the youngest sister who tries to be more adult than she is. So she's still very immature, but tries to act mature. All three of them are cute in their own way. Ross really likes the middle sister, but that's a show that I know I mentioned to you before. I wanted you to check out and tell me who you thought Best Girl was. And question for Darren from Ross in the chat. Based on what Doug asked earlier, which is better with a third option? You're the mysterious maid or Miss Servant? Who is better?
Mysterious maid or Miss Servant?
And you're.
I'd say I still prefer Mysterious Maid because, like I said, this seems like a more wholesome personality, and also just seems like someone you want to protect. She's never been the kind that you really want to protect because she will always find a way to kill you should something go awry.
Yep.
She has a harder time keeping her intentions hidden when it comes to anything regarding assassin work.
Yeah. I have not seen Mysterious Maid, so I can't comment on that end of things.
Wait, Mysterious Maid.
Yeah, the Mysterious Maid.
We are talking about the thing. We are talking about the show that we were just talking about, right?
No, Ross was threw a third option in where I said Yor or Yuki. He also added in the Mysterious Maid to that. So the anime, the Mysterious Maid.
And recently, the maid I hired is unusual.
Probably that one.
Let's see. I think I was going to watch that one. I didn't. I don't remember.
I'm not sure either. Yeah, the maid I hired is unusual was the anime that he was referring to.
Yep, I didn't watch that one. I meant to, but
Now the weather is starting to get a little bit cooler. You might have more time to catch up on shows.
yep.
Maybe. I know how you are.
Yep. Oh, that's right. I remember. That was one I was gonna watch, but
But stuff happened.
yep. That maid actually knows how to be a maid, though. She's actually good at her job. Meanwhile, this one is not. And even though she's not good at her job, the way she comes off as genuine is probably the part I appreciate the most. Like, the more genuine the character, the more I appreciate them and tend to like them.
Oh yeah. Now I'm curious. Did you ever finish watching the Dear Friend Nokotan?
Yes.
Was it worth finishing, or
It'll leave you going, what the. The
that's
last
kind of
episode, the last episode was just insane.
that's kind of why I stopped it, because I was saying that from episode 1.
Like, why am I watching this? I mean, it's not bad. It's not terrible. I mean, it's bad, but it's the good kind of bad.
Yeah.
It's like, a show is so off the wall that it's good. But yeah, that last episode was what the f am I watching?
And Ross in the chat says Liam Neeson, the actor, says he is going to retire from action movies at the end of next year when he's 72. He says you just got to know when to stop at some point. Hats off, still doing action movies at 72 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could do an action movie, and I'm only in my mid-40s. John Knight in the chat says, watching 1 to 3 episodes of anime you're interested in is like committing to the bid. I will give shows 3 episodes, and if they don't hook me by episode 3, I will stop watching them. I still say that there's only one show that I have not seen 3 episodes on that I dropped because I knew after episode 1 it was not for me, and that was Attack on Titan. Sword Art Online, I think I dropped around episode 6, 5 or 6. I know Demon Slayer I dropped after 6 episodes. And I know we did a fun little gaming stream earlier this week playing trading card game Card Shop Simulator. That was entertaining, and I mentioned that I'd seen one of the YouTubers that I watch. I saw him do a video about it. Since I started playing the game, I've seen at least 4 other YouTubers that I watch play it.
You started something.
I'm not taking any credit at all for starting something because 2 of them, like the timestamp on their videos, were like 5 months ago. I've only been playing it a month, so it's like I'm not taking credit on any of that stuff.
Valid.
But like one of them played it. Jerome ASF that I like to watch, he did a live stream on it last weekend. I think he said he might do another live stream earlier today. There have been some other games that I've been watching people play. Obviously, I enjoy watching the Minecraft content. That's why I watch a lot of them. And it's neat to see because a lot of the games I see Jerome play or Sigils or some of the other YouTubers that I watch, they play a lot of modded Minecraft. So it's not your vanilla gameplay. They have different like new items, different weapons, stuff like that. So I think that's why I enjoy watching those, is because it's different stuff, and you get to see how well there are people who just, when they're gaming, the chemistry is just really, really good. And next week, I believe we're going to have a guest with us again next week. Kaya Tanu, our friend Rob, is going to be joining us, talking about his time at another anime convention, the convention that happened last weekend. up in Massachusetts. We may have other guests who join as well to talk about the convention. Also, Angela is supposed to return from Japan. And Ross says, I know Angela is not here, but I'm going to bring this up so she can hear about it later and when she's back. But the anime they're both watching, 365 Days to the Wedding, the romance since episode 3. The romance is, and he's still typing, so we're going to wait for the rest of his thought there. Romance is actually starting to show up, so it's getting better. That's all he can say without spoiling and won't ruin the new episodes. We know that Angela will probably be behind on shows when she comes back next week, so we'll spoil everything we can. And I'll leave it up to Darren to spoil everything. That sound good? But next week seems like it's going to be a double review show. We'll hear from Angela reviewing her trip in Japan. We'll hear from Rob talking about how another anime con went. From everything I heard, I guess the attendance was up. Things have been a lot. Things were going out like it was a lot busier and a lot more stuff going on. So really excited because AAC has been a favorite con of ours for years, and really enjoyed AAC quite a bit. So I'm excited to hear that things are going good. And Ross also says, also don't go to McDonald's for a while. They have E. coli in the quarter pounders. I have not heard that, but I also, since I started doing a bit of a diet, I can't say diet thing, but watching calories, I have not been able to go out and eat fast food as I used to. Since starting this journey 3 weeks ago, I am down 6 pounds though. And I'm down 6 pounds and still able to drink Mountain Dew. It's not even like, oh, I cut out soda. He says, Ross says it's in their onions. So they had a bad batch of onions, so stay away from McDonald's for a bit. Don't want anybody getting sick out there. That would be bad. And unfortunately, it looks like Dan is unable to join us. So we are sad about that, but we will try to get him on in the future. It is Halloween time. Hopefully everybody who is going out has a safe Halloween. This was going to be a night of spooky stories and stuff of that nature. We got sidetracked on everything else. I really need to start coming in with more of a game plan. But even when I come in with a game plan, we have Ross who likes to just throw me off track anyway. As seen tonight, he doesn't need to. I can do that myself. But and Ross also says the actor who did the voice of Lord Farquaad in Shrek wants to come back in Shrek 5. There's a 5th Shrek. Jesus. I'm so out of the loop. I didn't know there was a Shrek 5. That is insane. I've seen 1 and 2. Maybe the 3rd? I didn't know that I knew that they had done 3. I didn't know there was a 4th one out already, and now a 5th one. Good God. All the donkey you can ask for, apparently. But I may call it early tonight. Third, let's see. Ross says third was the King Arthur plot. Fourth was Rumpelstiltskin plot. I vaguely remember King Arthur, not Rumpelstiltskin. But I think we're going to call it a little bit early tonight. I know Darren is tired, and I've got some things that are popping up here that I need to take care of. But we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Thank you so much to Kristi Rothrock for joining us. It was great chatting with her. Definitely, like I said, I wish her the best of luck with everything going on. Hopefully the career continues to take off. It's always wonderful to hear the work that she does. Extremely talented voice actress, such a wonderful, kind-hearted person. Love hanging out with her. Wish nothing but the best for her and her family. Of course, thank you to all of you awesome fans for tuning in tonight. John, Ross, Sharka, Nanya. It was great having everybody comment and chat with us. Until next week when Angela returns. And Rob is going to be joining us, the VTuber known as Kaya Tanu. And maybe more. Who knows? I hope everybody has a wonderful night. Stay safe out there. Enjoy anime. And we'll see you again here for more Anime-Zing Radio on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.